Hi, yes, you are audible.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you. And how about you?
Oh, I'm doing fine. I'm a little down because I've been having fever for the past few days, but I'm nice. I'm nice. This is a fun surprise. I'm really glad I had this session with you. So, what do you want to do today?
Yeah, it ups to you, like
To
what we
be
can.
okay. Well, we usually talk about English, right? We talk about what the viewers would like to know about the language. So, Tanuja, why don't you share your experience with the language and what were perhaps some of the out of the box tricks and tips that you would say can help in achieving an advanced knowledge in the language? Because usually, when you look at tutors and when you look at what we prescribe to the students or learners, we tell them read, we tell them watch as much as you can, and we tell them to practice speaking. So what would you say are other tricks or other ways in which you can achieve this fluency without subscribing to the traditional practices?
Well, so I just always suggest one thing that first self-analyze, like where you are lacking, it's very important because people will suggest you to do this thing, do that thing, but ultimately you have to find that where you are lacking actually. And most of the people or Twitter suggest like their experiences, and for everyone's it is different. Like how they are taking the things, it it depends on person to person. So first thing I would suggest that first analyze yourself, and then you have to work upon those things. And the second thing, self talk a lot. So I do these things on and off whenever I get free time. So I talk with myself. I take any random things or surrounding things and I just narrate the story. For example, I have to, make a blog or anything. So I just, prepare that kind of things in my mind itself. And where I lack, like
Yes,
these
yes.
words I don't know. So I just try to find out that words, like what we call this in English, something like that.
True, true. So, what would you say? Why do you think, Tanuja, that most often learners, what they do is when they learn a new language, right? They don't try to be the ones that lead the conversation. It's more of a you ask them something and they just respond in the basic sentences. So, this happens, right, with beginners especially. So, why do you think this happens? What is that hesitation that they face, especially when they approach English? What is this? This fear of that particular language that people tend to have when they're approaching it for the first time, because you don't see it with other languages when they're trying to learn another language, but with English it feels like the learners, they feel like there are a lot of rules that you have to follow. There are a lot of rigidity when it comes to trying to learn the language. So what do you think, and how can we get past that fear or that unfamiliarity that you attribute to learning the language?
I think that people think that if they make any mistakes, so what the other people will think about them. So this is the pretty common thing that everyone face this kind of thing. Even it happens with me when I talk with my manager or like anyone in my company. So that time I feel like I don't have to make any mistakes, though they don't will care that much. Like if I make any mistakes, they are foreigners and they have this native language. That that time I had this fear that they are very superb in this language. If I'll make any mistakes, so they will definitely, like they can get the attention that yes, she is making this mistake. But I think while speaking, people don't care about that thing. They want they want to listen. They want to understand. If you are able to make them understand, that is the thing.
Absolutely, and well said as well. Because Sanuj, I believe that when it comes to learning a language and when it comes to speaking a language, understanding comes first before the grammar, before the vocabulary, before the pronunciation. We need to make sure that whichever it is that we're trying to say, we're articulating it in the right manner and saying it. It's as simple as that, right? And
Yes.
the other parts of it, the grammar, the vocabulary, the pronunciation, these come secondary when we want to try and clarify it as much as we can or perfect it as much as we can. And like you said, I think that situations play an important role in deciding the course of a language, because we don't speak to, say, our superiors or our managers or our subordinates in the same way you might speak to your friend, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so that linguistic difference or that terminology difference that we have, it can also impact the language. And I think this is also something that a lot of learners are confused about, because sometimes they might say a sentence and they might think it sounds right, but the problem is the difference in the situation requires you to, attribute certain pleasantries that are completely unique to that situation, right? Which you agree, because we can't just say, hey, I'm handing over the report and call it a day. No, we have to say, hello, sir. Am I disturbing you at the moment? If you don't mind, can I share the update? So you see how that goes. So
Hmm.
would you agree? Do you think that there's that difference in English when it comes to the situation, and something that's not there in other languages?
Yeah, it matters a lot, I guess. Like if I'm in my professional place, so I have to, speak in the professional manner. Though English is when I speak with my friends, so it is like casual, and I can say any informal words also, slang and everything. But in workplace, I can't. And if you are giving any speeches, so where you have to take care of your words, which kind of words you are picking up. So why people say that we have to learn some advanced things or advanced vocabulary? Like we can do normal conversation as well, but it depends on the place where you are, because if
True.
you are surrounded with advanced speaker and the listeners, so then you have to pretend like that, you have to upgrade your level for that.
Sure, sure. And I think you would agree as well, I believe, Tanuja, that the best way to crack that familiarity is to put yourself in those different situations. And
Yeah.
fortunately, we are blessed in a world where we can use technology for that. We have AI tools where you can feed it a situation and it can act accordingly, right? So I believe that in today's world, learners have a lot more options out there. You even have apps
Hmm.
that judge your language for you. You can just send a voice note and it will give you correction. So you see, right, how technology has sort of helped us in making this learning process a lot more easier. Won't you agree?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. And so, what would you say is something that anybody can try for that matter outside of learning the language formally? Because when you're with a tutor and when you're having sessions, or when you are taking it formally as a class in a school or a college or a university, of course, you get the direct in person contact. But what would you say is something that you can practice on your own to try and improve the language? Or you can even say about something that has worked for you besides self-talk. Of course, self-talk is important. It's of course something that we can all try. But besides that, what would you say is perhaps the practice that's good?
Well, so I would say that I don't do some extra thing, but I can suggest that listening, and listening is not just about that you are listening some like very advanced speaker or podcast. I love listening kids stories, so I listen that things. In this way I can also take care of my sentences, how they are making sentences, like sentence structures, and how we are connecting other sentences. So these kind of things I can learn from story itself, and this is a kind of fun also, because story, most of the people like stories, listening stories.
True,
I
true.
can do. And I think people can also start with these things, because most of the time we think that we want entertainment, but with entertainment you have to learn something, right?
Absolutely, I agree. It should, there should always be an outcome to what
Hmm.
we are subscribing to. And I think watching cartoon or reading kids stories, these are excellent practice, because learning
Yes.
doesn't have an age, right? And when you approach content or entertainment content in general that's catered for children, one of the best things about it is the language is quite simple, and at the same time it's easier to understand as well, and it's quite colorful in the way it's depicted, so it stays in your mind, so that retention is more. So I would say, definitely, if you are a beginner, watch cartoon. Don't feel a sense of any embarrassment or shame regarding it, because it's such a beautiful means to get accustomed to the language. Because yeah, I don't know if you've noticed this, but when you look at cartoons, the language, right, the way it's uttered is a lot more slower than perhaps a live action film or a regular film that you might watch in English, right? The dialogues are a lot more slower and it's a lot more limited. There's a lot more actions involved, and the dialogues are usually a lot less, and it's quite clearly worded. And sometimes the same word might be repeated over and over again. If we were to take, for example, Dora the Explorer, if I were to just You get the idea, right? So I think
Hmm.
these are excellent. Because, one thing that we can learn from kids and cartoons in general is that the content that's catered for them is something that's catered with that intention of teaching them that language. Correct. It's not
Yes.
something that you see with films that is catered to the adults. So I think that this is an excellent practice, and I like how you came up with this. So what are the cartoons that you would suggest if to an English learner, or what has helped for you?
So I am not watching cartoons in English, but it is like animated stories. Because with the animated story, it is giving you fun also, like entertainment, and then you can learn some words that is quite different. And because of the scene, you can remember those words.
Right.
So this is the things. And yeah, when you are in the study mood, then you can watch some podcast and some other things also, because we are professional, so we need some professional words also. That is why it is important.
True, true. I agree. I agree. It shouldn't just be animated videos, or it shouldn't just be about the turtle and the rabbit, or the stories like those. It shouldn't just be about that. We need the professional lingo, and I think that learning new words or reading and trying to make sure that we are having something to take out of it at the end of the day, that helps. For example, you said, right, even if we are watching a movie, it shouldn't just be for the entertainment part. We should try to speak the languages or the dialogues that's being used over there. Because when you take any English movie that's produced in the native land, for example, you look at American films, or when you look at British films, and you can come across even daily life sentences or dialogues. For example, you might see a character saying, "How are you doing?" Right?
Mhm.
And when you watch something that has a sentence like that, one of the best practices that you can do is you can take a pause. Okay, you can pause that film and you can try to speak it the way they do it. Right.
Yes.
And that's good practice, right? So like you said, there should always be something at the receiving end of it when you're watching any content, for that matter, right?
Yes.
So what would you say has helped you out in that regard? What are the films that you usually watch when you have to try and brush up your language skills?
I would say that I have just, you know, did speaking practice only a lot, and listening, that I mentioned also, that animated stories. And other than that, I didn't do anything special. Just by speaking and listening to other people, I have learned and, grab those things already.
True,
Like,
true.
yeah, just I'm talking with you, and I have talked with many people in this way, and because of other people I have learned a lot. Like somewhere I just pick up those sentences they are using a lot, so in this way only I have learned a lot.
True, true. And nothing beats direct conversations with people, because that is what's going to help us in familiarizing ourselves with different situations, right? Of course, yes, talking in person helps, but unfortunately, since we're not native speakers of the language, and I think this is something that you can relate to as well, we are not provided with a lot of opportunities in our personal space where we can practice speaking in English. Right, because when we are in our homes or when we are interacting with our friends and family, we would use our native tongue, right? But I think one of the ways in which you can bring in that familiarity with English is to try and at least use certain English words in that conversation, even if it's in the native language. So what this is going to do is, sorry, like I said, the fever, it's a little bit of a
Yes.
problem today. So yeah, like I said, when you bring in a couple of English words, even in your native speech, it gives your brain a chance to get familiarized with that language, right? So, do you think that's a good practice? Would you agree?
Yes, yes, I'm agree. I agree.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So, I think these are some of the tricks and tips that we can use to learn every person deals with the language in a different manner, right? Not everybody's learning pace is the same. For example, you can pick up on it with just a limited set of practice, but for someone else, it might require months of continuous effort. So, something that we can make sure that we're all following, and something that's universal about learning any skill for that matter, is consistency and confidence, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you have to remain consistent in your effort. Let's take your example as well. I think your journey is quite the best example that we can come up with, because you, I believe, have been practicing this for years, right? and you
Yes.
take up sessions regularly and you try to brush up your skills, and we get to learn from you as well. And I at this in this conversation, I'm learning from you as well, like you're learning from me. So there is that duality of it, and there is that consistency that you showcase, which has helped you in achieving the success that you are presented with right now. So I would say, whatever you are starting with, or regardless of wherever you stand in terms of learning the language, if you have that consistency and if you can speak confidently, I think that you're already winning. Right?
Yes, yes,
Mhm.
absolutely right.
Yeah, and along with that, I would also say we need to be brave to make mistakes. We need to try and make as much mistakes as we can, because when you make a mistake, you'll make sure not to repeat that again. Right. But imagine initially you are speaking with full confidence and you're thinking, okay, yeah, whatever I'm saying is right. It's not going to work. We have to make room for mistakes, and we need to recognize our mistakes and accept it quite boldly, because it doesn't matter. You know what I think, Tanuj? I believe that when you're learning a language, right, and when you're speaking that language, even if you're an advanced speaker, you can still make a lot of mistakes, right?
Yes,
Even
yes.
right now as I'm speaking to you, I'm pretty sure I've made a lot of grammatical slips, so this happens. So I think it helps if you don't beat yourself up over the tiny mistakes and rather learn from it, right? So yeah, these are a couple of things that we can tell all of your viewers out there, correct?
Yeah, correct. So in this way, they can also, start their journey actually.
True, true,
And
true.
I still remember that when I have to, use some new words, so I hesitate a lot. I feel that if I would not, pronounce that word
I
correctly, so
Yeah,
what will happen like that?
true, true,
And
true.
because of that fear, I'm not using. Sometimes it comes in my mind like, yes, this particular word I can use here, but maybe if I'll pronounce incorrectly, or in the sentence I'm using it in the wrong place, so definitely people will, point out that thing.
True,
Because of
true.
that, I'm not using it, and still it is like it is happening with me. So I have to overcome.
Yeah, I think it helps if we don't think too much about it and just utter it confidently. Because even if we do make mistakes, I think we're all people who might make mistakes with the language at some point in our lives. So, yeah, we're all learning in our own way. And if we can recognize and realize that, I think we're pretty much winning the whole concept of perfecting the English language as it is, because perfecting the language in itself is an illusion. This learning process is something that we carry throughout our whole lives, right? So we try to bring in better versions of ourselves daily. And yeah, that I think that's pretty much what you were trying to say as well, right, Tanuja?
Yeah,
So
right.
I think we shared a lot of insights on how any beginner can begin their journey with the
Yes.
language, and you shared a lot of insights from your experience as well. So let's hope that your viewers can learn something from it. So thank you for making this session quite informative and bearing with
Definitely.
my sneezing and my. Thank you so much for that as
Thank you
well.
to you as well.
Yeah, so yeah, hopefully we'll see each other again soon. Meanwhile, take care.
Yeah,
Right?
you too. Take care.
Yeah.
Take care of your health.
I'll try my level best because I need to be back on full power. So yeah.
Yes.
Bye bye. Yeah.
Thank you. Bye.